Hello again to all listeners and subscribers of this channel. You are listening to Obsidian Radio, and today we'll be doing another review of Attack on Titan Season 3, Episode 14, entitled Thunder Spears. And I know this is coming across a little bit late, but I'm going to explain in a later video why I've been having problems uploading these on consistency like I want to, but I'll get into that in the near future. But on to it. As far as this episode 14, this episode is where we finally see Reiner and Eren conduct their second battle, but this time Eren is fighting inside his original home territory, the one that got crushed by the Titans the first time 5 years ago, or was it 3 years ago? Something like that. I forgot. He's also got more planning, he's got a better strategy, he's got help from his friends, and a new weapon that will give him and the scouts an edge over the Armored Titan. So then, let's get into this. Now, as far as my first thoughts, this episode started out very quickly and it was very intense, with Reiner adding crystallization to his hands and his feet and then climbing the wall. It then goes into the battle strategy of everyone involved, and already I'm liking this intense build of battle that I know is going to. It's not going to be just mindless brawling, but seems to be focused on different people on both sides of the situation, trying their best to outthink the other, to outsmart the enemy, not just fight them blindly. And as I watched the rest of the episode, I was not disappointed. So as far as the plot, so in this episode, when it opens up, we see Reiner climbing the wall with his own version of crystal hardening on his hands and feet. He reaches the top and makes his attempt to kill the horses on the other side to block their escape. Then as soon as he gets ready to jump down onto the other side, Eren transforms inside Shiganshina district, to Reiner's surprise. But rather than go after Eren, Reiner thinks to himself, what could the scouts be planning? Why would they have Eren transform when Eren is the main target of capture by him and the Beast Titan? So he figures out that they're trying to lure him away from the horses, and he goes after chasing after Eren. Reiner knows this, but he goes after Eren anyway. So now the second battle commences between Eren and the Armored Titan. Meanwhile, the Beast Titan sends his smaller 3 to 5 meter Titans to bring out the scouts, while keeping the large Titans behind. The younger recruits and Captain Levi slay the smaller Titans and protect the horses. So far, we go back to the Reiner versus Eren fight, round 2, and while these two are going at each other viciously, we get a flashback of Hanji developing the new weapons. Weapons designed specifically to deal with the Armored Titan, the Thunder Spears. Once they're shown how to operate to the scouts practice with them, and then flashing back to the current situation, Hanji and the scouts plan to attack Reiner at the exact right moment. They blast Reiner with their Thunder Spears 3 times, and they successfully are able to do a lot of damage. And the episode closes with the Armored Titan screaming just as the last barrage of Thunder Spears is launched into his nape. Now, as far as interesting things that I noticed, so here are some interesting things. 1, the first major things I liked was the way different characters were thinking about and strategizing when it comes to the battle situation, what they're trying to do to outthink and outmaneuver the opposite side or the opponent side. The Beast Titan, Reiner, Eren, Armin, and Commander Erwin all displayed very good examples of planning ahead your next attack and doing your best to anticipate your enemy's moves. Not only does this display good writing on the part of Asayama Hajime, he's awesome, it also displays how, when he creates his characters, he's able to put together multiple complex characters into intense situations. It's almost like a complex, grand level chess game that's being exceptionally played by both sides. Absolutely epic. Second thing I noticed is when Commander Eren has his incredibly good speaking voice, he spends exactly, I can't remember what I was trying to say. He sounds exactly like the military general you would expect in major warfare. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the past reviews, I'm not sure, but the more I think about it, the more it seems that I realize I really do like Eren's voice. His voice actor, I can't remember his name, but the way he's portrayed in the series, he does a good job being that general type who's able to rouse his troops into battle and help them gain the mental fortitude to press forward against the enemy. Number 3, Commander Eren seems to be determined to see the secret locked away in Eren's house in the basement. And he's also secretly lamenting the hundreds of fallen comrades. The 2 scouts that were eaten at Castle Utgard, as well as Mike Zacharias, are seen on the hill of dead bodies in a vision of Commander Eren. You can tell that this entire situation deep down has affected Commander Eren's psyche. Again, very good character development. Number 4, the cart titan definitely should be more intelligent. It had to have transformed before any of the others in order to strap those barrels onto its back. Very interested to know what it's going to do with those barrels later on. And number 5, Connie, Jean, and Sasha showed a slight hesitation when placing the third and final set of Thunder Spears into Reiner's nape. Yet they followed through with it anyway. All 3 of them have killed before. So it looks like they still have a tiny soft spot for Reiner and are still a little bit affected by the fact that they had to kill other human beings. Especially when it comes to someone that they trained with for all those months, or I believe. Or at least that's how I interpreted it. Now, as far as the animation quality. The animation quality was about an 8 out of 10 on this one. And there's a few reasons for that. Although I am a little bit wary of criticizing animators, but I had to call it like I see it. 1, there are some scenes in the Reiner versus Eren fight that looked odd to me. They were drawn well, but the sequences themselves looked a little, off. The angle seemed off. The body movements didn't seem all the way right. I don't know. An example of this is when Eren is punching Reiner and he's breaking his facial armor only on his face. Reiner goes flying, but that spin to me looked kind of awkward. It didn't look like a natural spin you would expect from someone getting punched. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but that just looked odd. I don't know. And then these other minor details. Oh no, the second one. There's a second time where during the fight between Eren and Reiner, where Eren, I think he slapped Reiner on the back, yet Reiner's going in the wrong direction. It's like he's going sideways after the slap occurs. I wish I could show that to you, but you have to go back and look at it very closely. Hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, these are minor details that just seem to show there's something off about the... I want to say it was the storyboarding, because the animation itself didn't look bad. It was just the way they transitioned from one movement to the other looked kind of odd to me. So it's only a minor thing. After 3 seasons of incredibly great anime, I wouldn't made this such a big issue. I say it's more of a small issue. Which studio can afford to make some mistakes here and there? So it's something that I noticed, but at the end of the day, it's not really a big deal. In fact, in the near future, I do plan on making a video about the animation process and about how animators do not get anywhere near enough recognition and admiration for their craft. But that will be a separate project for a later date. Now, as far as the best thing about the episode, the best thing about this episode, in my opinion, was the display of critical thinking that came from major characters in this episode when it came to the main situation, especially when you look at what Hanji did, Erwin, Armin, Eren, and when it came to well thought out ideas about how to stop the Titan advances and the Armor Titan. Whereas Reiner was able to figure out and foresee and counter some of those tactics to a degree. And the Beast Titan is dangerous by the fact that he even set up this attack in the first place. So we definitely have some good, well thought out military tactics being displayed here, as well as critical thinking and just planning things out against the enemy. Worst thing about the episode was some of the storyboarding directly focused on Eren and Reiner's second fight. Like I said, certain movements that just look kind of wonky and odd That's about it. As far as my favorite scene, I wouldn't call this my favorite scene, but it was oddly one of the most intense, and it was actually a very, very, I don't know what the right word is for it, but maybe poignant. Is that, I'm pronouncing that right? It was a very deep and very profound scene, dealing mostly, almost exclusively with Eren and what he was going through when he thinks back and laments as to all the people that died around him in this war against the Titans. The scene I'm talking about is the one that involves no action, but it's a scene where Eren is thinking to himself about the future goals when it comes to that basement. But he's also lamenting all the people that he sacrificed or sacrificed themselves in order to get humanity to this very moment, right in here and right now. The bodies of his comrades rise up as a hill underneath his feet. In fact, the three that are right underneath his feet, to me, they look like they're sporting almost the same exact wounds that they had right before they died. Which to me, if the animators did that on purpose, very good animation, very good attention and detail. The Mountain of Brave Corpses. A haunting and intense scene. As far as a 1 to 10 score, or between 1 and 10 score, this episode deserves about an 8.5 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10, somewhere around there. Mostly because of the slightly wonky animation of the actual Eren versus Reiner fight. Other than that, the beginning of the episode was really nice, and most of the episode was incredibly good, as far as I'm concerned. And an overall summary, I thought this episode was pretty much excellent. It had a very fast-paced intro. It slightly slowed down, but only to show the inner thoughts of so many different characters involved in this actual warfare. And it did a good job of showing those battle tactics and how these different characters utilize them. It then shifted to another Titan Shifter battle that was a bit off at times, before finally ending with the literal bang. An overall pretty good episode, but its highlight was the increasing characterization and character interactions. Now I've got to see how Reiner is going to survive those Thunder Spears, if he survives, and what the scouts are going to do with the possibly dead Titan Shifter. We'll obviously be checking out the next episode when it airs. And with that being said, that's all for now. Please like, subscribe, share, and donate to support this channel and the content I produce. You all have a nice day. I'm out. Peace.